Hi, I'm Katie Toma, President and CEO of the Chico Chamber, and today I am here with Jamie, who is the owner of Thistle Stitch here in Chico. And the reason why I invited Jamie to come and have a conversation today via Zoom is because I saw this great Facebook post that Jamie had with all kinds of great information about masks and what her small business, her company is doing to help with the masks. So Jamie, thanks for coming today. Appreciate you taking the time. I know you're busy.
A little bit. Yeah.
So I just want to start out and talk to you about your business. And first of all, how did you come up with the name Thistle Stitch? What does that mean?
So Thistle Stitch is based on the Scottish thistle, and stitch because I sew and embroider. So, stitching, whatever. It started about 8 years ago. I started making like flannel plaid infinity scarves, and I've gone through a few different silly, stupid names trying to, make my thing, whether it was for an Etsy shop or something. And then finally landed a few years ago on trying to create a better name. And so I was brainstorming, and I really liked thistle, and I looked more into it and discovered the Scottish thistle, and was like, well, that's relevant. I do all this plaid, and yeah, so it just kind of went from there. And then we started doing Scottish festivals last year, and it's like I really found my niche, kind of ran with the Scottish theme on things, and now I have more than 100 plaid scarves patterns, and do all kinds of embroidery that goes along with that. So
that's great. So your business started up in Paradise. So talk to us about that.
Yeah. So well, it was kind of a hobby, over the last, like I said, 8 years, and we kind of moved around a lot. We were in Santa Rosa. We spent a summer in Alaska. We were in Colorado. I actually ended up changing my name to Thistle Stitch when we were in Colorado, and then moved back to Paradise. My husband is born and raised in Paradise. I'm basically born and raised in Redding. So it's like we've lived in the 3 major fire areas. It's kind of weird. So we moved back and bought our first house 6 months before the fire. And so at that time, like before the fire, I was just starting to do some more local craft fairs. And then the fire hit, we lost our home. I think I made it out with like 2 little crates full of scarves. And I kind of thought, my business was gone and done for. But then I had a friend give me like a gift card to the fabric store the next day. And I felt like it gave me permission to go on. It gave me permission to keep doing my business. And then it just kind of exploded from there. People just wanting to support us in a way where it's not just giving money to a stranger. So I probably made about 1,000 scarves between the fire and Christmas of 2018. And then in 2019, last year, we started doing the Scottish festivals. So my business has really just kind of exploded since then. And then I opened my first location here in Chico. It was more of just the need of having a workshop, somewhere to work out of, because I outgrew my sewing room at home. And it just so happened that I was able to have this small little gift shop in the front of it. So that's kind of how I've ended up in Chico. We just moved back to Magalia. Our house is under construction, and we're rebuilding. And so now I've got my little space down here and do a lot of online sales. And it's nice having a place for people to come to, but still being connected to Paradise and everything too.
Well, what I know, before Christmas last year, I bought a ton of Christmas gifts, and your infinity flannel scarves are so cozy. And I know it's hot outside today.
I know, right?
But in the wintertime, they're just so cozy. And because they're flannel, they're you don't feel like they're all bulky and like when you have a big old wool scarf on or something. So the product. So I have to really encourage people to come down and into your gift shop. But one of the things I wanted to talk to you about that you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, have pivoted, and I've talked to a lot of businesses that have pivoted during COVID, and you have pivoted with creating masks. So talk about that.
So, I mean, it must have been back in March. We just did an event, a Celtic fair in Sonora, and we were getting ready for this a season full of Scottish festivals and Celtic festivals. Kind of my first full year of doing events that we were really looking forward to, and then of course COVID happened and everything gets canceled. In fact, even we had a 2-week trip to Scotland planned at the end of March that got canceled. And so a friend on Facebook, like I was kind of clueless. I didn't know masks were a thing. Of course, I guess I got in on it in the very beginning. I saw a friend post that another friend of hers was trying to get elastic donations to make masks. And so then I got connected with this group that was making masks. And I'm like, at first, so initially I went and I was like, I have access to like wholesale suppliers. I tried to buy like a spool of elastic to send to her, but by that time there was like already an elastic shortage. So I joined the group. I started making masks. People who knew me were already reaching out for masks. I guess that was mid-March, knowing I could sew. Like, can you make masks? So in the very beginning, I just kind of started with that. I didn't mean to make money with it. It was just like I want to provide a service. I did some giveaways. I gave away, like I ordered like 650 yards of elastic from another supplier and a bunch of fabric and felt, and I gave it away to other mask makers. And then it just kind of kept growing. I was getting so many orders that I'm like, I have to charge a little bit more. I have to make money with this because like this is all my time now. And so, I mean, granted, I'm still.
And you weren't doing the festivals, so
I wasn't,
weren't able to sell.
And it was like, honestly, like masks have kept my business alive the last few months. I don't have an exact number, but I have made more than 2,000 masks.
Wow.
It's probably close to 2,500. I stock them at Made in Chico. I stock them at Treasures from Paradise. And then I've taken on custom orders. Some people have ordered like 25 masks. And then I sell them in a 3-pack online for $18. And even just recently, I started getting these little cellophane bags. So from now on, when I take masks down to other stores, or if they're in stock at my store, they're in this protective bag. And so it's just been weird. So yeah, I've just been making masks like crazy, and I'm still sticking with my Scottish theme. I try to work with mostly plaids. I've done some custom masks with embroidery that either have like their name embroidered right here, kind of like as a name tag for businesses. I've done some with logos, like the business logo on the cheek. And so it's just, yeah, I've had to pivot to kind of fit what the market needs right now. And so many people have been so like, oh my gosh, thanks for making masks. And I'm like, I don't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't making masks. And at the same time, at the same time, while there's been an elastic shortage, I started buying thousands of yards of elastic from one of my suppliers and reselling it just because you couldn't get it anywhere. Like, I don't even know if Joann's has it yet. I had even ordered some elastic from Joann's at like the beginning of April, and it took 2 months to arrive. So I've probably sold more than 12,000 yards of elastic just because I was able to get it from one supplier and redistribute it. So it's just, yeah,
Crazy.
trying to provide what has been needed. I even have a filter material now. So it's a small particulate, basically one-time use filter material that I also have. So it's kind of like, well, I have a whole like mask section now and supplies.
Yeah, I saw that on your website. And one of
Yeah.
the things that we were talking in the office that, and I've talked to other friends about it, that your masks are kind of becoming a fashion statement.
Yeah.
You know, in what you're wearing, and if you're going to have to wear this mask all the time, and then of course you need to have more than one because you have to wash them.
Yeah.
And so I, you know, when you know your little plaid ones, and it's just they're really cute. And I know that Heather in our office bought a bunch from you, and
Yeah.
really cute. You've just done such a great job.
Thanks.
Such a great job. So what's your website? So why don't you give us the address of your business and what your hours are if people want to come by the shop?
Yeah. So right now my business location is 2565 Zanella Way, Suite E. That's kind of in the industrial park area, like down the street from Clean Canteen. I'm next to Shelley's Creative Catering. So I'm not in a shopping center. I'm more of in kind of an office building, which is, you know, different. I'm generally here Monday through Friday, 10 to 4,
Okay.
or 10 to 5.
Sure.
And so, yeah, my website address is thistleandstitch.com. You can like order masks online and pick them up in the store. Or you can come down. This is like one of the first weeks I've even had like my own stock of masks available for walk-ins. Like usually like people would walk in and be like, do you have masks? And I'm like, order online. I'll let you know when they're done because I have 100 orders in my queue. And, you know, thankfully it's gotten to a point where like my online orders have slowed down, but then it's like, I wasn't able to keep them in stock at the other stores. And now I finally have a stock of my own. So yes, long story short, that's where I am.
So 10 to 4 on Zanella by Shelley's Catering.
Yes.
South Chico.
Yes.
Well,
And
Amy, thank you so much. And I just appreciate your entrepreneurial spirit. And you did pivot, and you pivoted quickly, because I think you were, the very first small business we heard that was making masks in Chico. It was right away. So thanks for being so on it, and just the great work that you do, and the high quality of your work is really appreciated. So take care, and folks, Jamie, Thistle and Stitch, and her website is thistleandstitch.com, and she's open from 10 to 4ish. All right, Monday through Friday. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.